Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Alara Canfield Show, the Awaken to Happiness Now Global Series. Thank you so much for being here with us today. It's been interesting getting started today. Some things are working, some things are not working, but it's all good. We're all here and, we're excited. So today on the show, my good friend Kelly Hampton is back with us, and we're going to be talking about what you can expect during the 2024 timeline. We're going to be getting some channeled guidance from the Pleiadian and Galactic Council to help you through these turbulent times. We're going to be learning a lot with Kelly, and some of that information, it's about, what is happening right now, right? And what can we do personally to help balance the energies, polarities within us to stay centered instead of getting pulled to one side or the other, and just all sorts of different stuff. We're going to be getting a channeled message from Kelly. We're going to be doing a process or two, of course. We're going to be taking some live caller questions. And just be be ready. So like I said, we are going to be taking caller questions. So for those of you who do have a question for Kelly, you can raise your hand or you can type your question in the chat. Okay, and for those of you who may not know Kelly, Kelly is a second wave Pleiadian here to anchor the Christ grid to Earth. She is an international teacher and healer, an advanced channel and gifted medium. She is also the author of 3 renowned books from Archangel Michael: Into the White Light, The Revelations of Archangel Michael, 2012 and Beyond, The Truth from Archangel Michael, and her latest, Healing Wisdom for the Animal Kingdom. And she's also working on a 4th book, which hopefully will be coming out soon. And she's the founder of multiple 5D and 12D groundbreaking healing systems since 2010, including Star Healing Intergalactic Energy, Star Healing Equine, and Star Healing for Small Animals. She is the founder of Ascended Spaces for creating abundance and dominion, the Angel's new astrology system for the new millennium. And she certifies practitioners worldwide in these ascension systems and leads 5D retreats to power spots around the world, including Glastonbury, England, Mount Shasta, California, Assisi, Italy, which I really wanted to go last year. And she has appeared alongside many of the world's most recognized teachers. And she also has a new line of powerful healing accessories, Star Code Creations. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that and about some of the Star Code frequencies and codes for all sorts of different things. We were asking for one just a few minutes ago about communication because we were having a few technical issues, but it's all good now. So Kelly, welcome back to the show. So glad you're here.
Hey, thank you so very much. I have a technical question to start. If I want to see if I want to see the other people that are here, all I see is like the first screen and like the first row of some of the others.
Yep. So up at the top, there's a little grid of like 12 buttons and it says gallery. So you click on that and that'll show you gallery view. That'll show you everybody. And if you click it again, it goes to speaker view. Then it'll just show me or whoever's talking.
Okay, I think I did that.
Right?
Well, it's good enough, although there are multiple pages, but
yes, yeah. You can't see everybody on the screen. It's like, I think 25 per screen.
Okay.
25 per page or something like that.
Okay. Yeah. Well, okay, fine. Well, thank you all. 95, we're 1 to 100, right? Woo!
Awesome. So yeah, it's been a while, I feel like, since you've been on the show. So, maybe not too long, but still, it's been a bit, right? So I just want to check in really quickly to find out what's been going on, how are things going, and now with the coronavirus, all that wonderful stuff, traveling is a bit restricted. So I guess you're not doing any more retreats right now?
Well, actually, I am taking a group to Sedona in October, Sedona, Arizona. And I believe there's 2 spots left. So if anyone's interested, they can certainly, make an inquiry. It was originally planned for April, and like many of us, our plans in life derailed. And I'm certain, well, I feel certain, first of all, I'm humbled that everyone's here, but I feel certain it's the topic, it's the topic that's really on all of our minds, I guess. How are we going to thrive and survive, and what's going on, and what can we do, and those kinds of things. So, in addition to the, so life goes on, right? For me anyway, and hopefully all of us. And then next year, real briefly, there'll be a Glastonbury retreat, and that's set for July. So also, before we get started, I wanted to thank everybody that submitted some questions in advance of a global nature. And as Alara and I discussed as we move into our topic, and also educate everyone about a mask removal and your soul chart, how that can play into your life and changing your timeline. We're requesting that there are no political questions asked today. You know, we want to keep the vibe high, and not separate our group, but unify our group. And in fact, you know, that's what's really needed now, is unity and love. So as we move through these, you know, our time together, let's all keep that in mind, you know. I hope you do. The other thing I hope you all keep in mind, and more than that, really say, affirm, as Michael keeps asking, you know, me to provide to everyone, one of the most powerful things we can say besides the actions that we do is to affirm, I'm a sovereign being. I'm liberated and I'm free.
So let's do that right now first. You know, let's everybody say that right now. I am a sovereign being.
I'm a sovereign being. That means powerful.
Yes, absolutely. And I'm free, right? I am free and liberated.
I'm liberated and free. It's a very powerful, short, memorable way that doesn't involve any sort of, you know, magic power, let's call it, you know, channels open to help ourselves and help others, you know. So
yeah,
he's been, you know, he doesn't want us to forget. So I heard it again the other day, and even if your thoughts are in a place where you don't feel as though we're free, affirming, you know, making the affirmations, well, they're powerful for one, and they can help change your cells, let's call it, right? Thoughts do, actions do, of course. And so you know, I'm simply the messenger. Today we're going to be providing an overview about what I listened. I did some channeling right before our call that I shared with Alara, you know, about the timelines from the Pleiadians. And then, so Michael you may come to know me as a channel for Michael, but, you know, really it's really any light being, and sometimes beings that are not of the light if I'm not careful with my own work. But today, to that regard, I think I'd just like to do a prayerful invocation that I do when I'm doing healing work or anything, and it goes something like this. At this time, I'd like to call on the Holy Eternal Being, all the souls that are present. I'd like to be calling forth all their spirit guides, all the ranking and phylum of angels, all the ascended masters, Mother, Father, God, and all the Christed extraterrestrials who are here to fulfill the divine plan on earth, to surround us and protect us, lead us with your loving graces, provide healing if that's what's needed, expansion in any and all ways if that's what's needed. We ask this in the I am consciousness. I am that I am that I am. Other powerful words right there. I am that I am that I am. God is what that is all about. So really, it's not just for me, you know, if we get interference, you know, we'll talk about this in a minute when we talk about masks. You know, I imagine none of your folks here are beginners in the spiritual realm. And so also, of course, be in situations where we pick up others' energies that are not, if our fields are not fortified. So I generally suggest that, you know, if we're here spreading love, if some of you are light workers actively involved in this, you know, type of work, even if you're not, but you have love at your core, you know, there's still unseen forces that are working to try to keep humanity or Earth from ascending, and you know, they can be willy wompy. So I feel it's always a good idea, I feel, no matter who you are, that there's some means of invocation and or call it protection, you know, in the times that we're living in. And I'm just really, as I say, the messenger from what I've heard from Michael and many of the guides for about the last 5 years, particularly more so, you know, of recent nature. So that's that, I guess.
Awesome, thank you. So I think we were going to start off with a channeling, right?
Yes, we're going to like dive right into the material here. And it's not a very long piece of channeling, but it, you know, it sets the tone for the topic today, I think. And so my question to the Pleiadian Council, by the way, there are multiple councils if you're not familiar with this concept. And so I asked them, what is or are the timelines for 2024? Can you give us an overview? So here's what I heard, okay? Their response was, there are many false timelines circulating on your planet presently. A timeline is simply an energy, frequency, or frequencies in combination. I'm reading from this, just FYI, by the way. Timelines are infinite, though your Earth minds often interpret them as time is measured on Earth. Nevertheless, we understand the sense of urgency humankind is experiencing now. It is to this we will speak. We are the Pleiadian Council. Members present during this transmission into the hundreds have gathered. You see, there are many councils operating largely unseen missions to help solidify the galactic light presence. One timeline of major importance and influence is the Ascension timeline. But understand, beautiful ones, that this is simply one timeline or one set of combined frequencies. The various and complete timeline from the Council, in part, is held in supreme secrecy, which I thought was interesting. Other portions are readily available for interpretation. There is a timeline for rounding up all the pedophiles, for example, that have harmed Earth souls. This timeline is on track. The timeline for the pedophile tribunals is 2021. A timeline may be interpreted, dear ones, as the effective, successful completion of missions. Missions not only off planet, but on planet as well. Who sets the timelines for accomplishment of light or light missions? Their response, Mother, Father, God aspect does. Another timeline pertaining to ascension is aspected particularly about cleaning up planet Earth herself from harmful radioactivity and other harmful effects of neurons, neutrons, and proto-neurons. This timeline is set for 2023. Another aspect of the ascension timeline is personal elevation and awareness for the individual or masses. This timeline's success is continually fluctuating and cannot be stated with complete confidence today. However, we collectively feel, as though this timeline will be completed closer to 2024. Finally, another aspect of the ascension timeline are the mass arrests of those in the global elite. This timeline is on track as our generals and other ranking members are reporting. Praise be to the Holy White Brotherhood of Light, whose efforts should not be overlooked in this collaboration of light over darkness, love over evil. The reprehensible manipulation of those on Earth over eons of time is swiftly seeing its end. This timeline, because of its complexities, is set for 2021 to 2022. So that's where I ended my channeling.
Awesome, thank you. Really interesting to see what's coming up.
Well, and I personally, maybe some of you have watched or heard the word timeline, and what is that? What does that even mean? And I think they clearly, well, I hope you all can tell us, but I feel like they they very clearly, you know, broke it down into pieces and meaning for us. So,
Good. Awesome.
now, may I ask another technical question?
Sure.
Should I be should I be reading the chats, or are you going to moderate that? And you know,
Yeah, you don't have to look at the chat, but I just want to say, because I got kicked out for whatever reason, and I lost what was in the chat before I got kicked out. So I know that Caroline had written something, but I don't know if there were any other questions. So just, you know, if you do have a question that you wrote in before, write it in again, because it's not there for me. Right. So I don't normally get kicked off, but I got kicked off today. So it's like, okay, interesting. But no, it's all good. It's all good. Don't get distracted.
Okay, just I didn't want to leave anybody unattended and wasn't sure how that worked. So
yeah.
Did you want to, what would you like, did you want to kind of go into some of the questions that were submitted, you know?
Yeah, we'll go into some of the questions, and we'll take some questions as well. I mean, I'm not going to go into like the political stuff at all, you know, like it's just not, you know, I think relevant to most of us, you know, about the politics in the U.S. It's really not. But it is interesting to, you know, see, you know, as we're going through these transitions, it feels like it's a big transition, right? We're going through these transitions. Should we be holding off on making, you know, those, you know, major purchases, or should we wait a few years until after this transition has taken place?
Okay, so I am going to channel live now. I didn't, you know, and so I'll probably not maybe even look at the screen so I can focus. Let's see, let's go with the Pleiadian Council members again. And again, you know, you know, you know, even Michael, as supreme as he is, and all the guides, you know, these are, you know, well, what should I, you know, you have your own hearts and minds and what resonates with you, and obviously, you know, that will be your path or your paths. But you're here for a reason, and hopefully the reason is to perhaps access some information that you're not presently able to obtain on your own. So with all that being said, I'm going to ask the council, what is your comment? How can you guide us about, you know, let's just go with, let's say, the next year or two, please, as our hearts and minds are wondering about, really the question is based, I suppose, on the financial structure and restructuring. You know, you talk to any of the astrologists, they'll tell us that because certain planets are in alignment now, it's the year to challenge the structures of the world. And obviously we're all witness to that in various degrees and various ways. The spiritual sort of bent on that, I suppose, is, you know, entering the Aquarian age. And they're not unrelated. If I made it sound like they are, they're not. They're just sort of different thoughts that feed into the same idea. But that's the bigger question, you know, about that. And from a channeling Michael I did with Michael, I don't know, maybe a year ago, he did say that the Federal Reserve Board would be undergoing big changes, like in the now-ish time frame. And what would those changes be? Michael said that it would, in many ways, help people that did not have money. You know, the restructuring would help people, again, that did not have money, that there would not be a collapse. And, you know, there was not a fear-based guidance in any form or fashion. That's not possible from those of the light. But to hear today from the council, if someone were to wanted to make a major expenditure, what is your guidance for us, please? They're just saying, we have known that this is going to be a topic of conversation for some time now, and it's not the first time we've heard this type of topic, but we are blessed to have so many hearts and minds here. We know the vibration will resonate outwards, knowing that a group of 10 will resonate out times the 10 of the 10th perception, you might say. So 100 times the 100th perception, and so on. So even if we did not come in, as you're calling it, and provide any wisdom here, your presence merely tells us that the world continues to awaken, and that the world will rise into its former glory and its present glory As far as directly responding to any questions you might have about, in a very broad way, about major expenditures, it would be very wise to make them, if possible, in the early part of the new year, depending upon what part of the populace you live in. So we cannot give one concrete answer about the timing. It's a yes, go ahead and make them, but perhaps the timing, the Earth timeline, as you're speaking of timelines, matters, and it's a bit of a fluid kind of response depending upon, again, where the individual Earthling lives, without being so specific as Tallahassee, Florida, and Paris, France. It's not that type of thing at all, but there are quadrants on your planet, and some quadrants are being affected a little more differently or rising more fully than others. So if we had to summarize it another way, we would say to one's hearts and minds, yes, go forth with all the power and security and knowing that your heart's desires have never been more obtainable now than they ever have been in history. Don't let the masks of falsehood blind you. Don't let the sirens that you hear outside of your homes frighten you. We're talking not about physical sirens. We're using that as a parable to talk about the manipulation of most of the information that is being purveyed on your planet today. So again, if we were speaking about a major purchase, if we were speaking about a major move globally, mind you, if we were speaking about anything that you might call of a life event, we say go forth with courage and grace. Courage and grace, love, joy, and contentment. These are the frequencies that each of you embody, in the cells of your body. Supremely, supremely, supremely known to be true.
Beautiful. Thank you. I love that. And what can we do personally to help balance the energies, the polarity within us to stay centered instead of getting pulled to one side or the other? I think that's a big one right now too, because people are being pulled in different directions and not being able to stay in the center.
Okay, yes. So back to the council. And if you're new to me, notice also, I always re-invoke who I want. Just a thing, you know. It might be something that you get a little bit of a teaching too, if you're working with guides or something. Again, I re-invoke who I want, okay? Mm-hmm. But in any event, so to the Pleiadian Council, what about the wide divide across many spectrums? You know, it's not, well, I'm just talking for the group, I guess, from what I see inadvertently, really. You know, those divides are really no different than divides have been throughout history, right? There's social divides, they can be racial divides, they can be the economic divides, they can be divides of religious beliefs and all the rest. So the magnification, the reason that these, let's call them collectively divisions, are being bandied really up front in our faces is because, again, this is a battle of light versus darkness. And the more that we can be kept squabbling between ourselves, fractalized, you know, cut in half, whatever we want to call it, marginalized is what the word they just helped me say, you know, that's an agenda. It might be many agendas, but again, it's an agenda that's outside of light. So it's a very intentional agenda, or these agendas are, right? Again, to keep us in this heightened state of frenzy, really, is what it can be. And so I'm going to ask the council now if they perhaps maybe have some unique or maybe not so unique ways, you know, to, with that awareness as I come to know it, you know, what each of us can do in a simple way, you know. So let's see what they have to say. Awesome. So, thank you. So back to the council. How can you guide us about this, please? Well, okay, this is what they're saying. Those of you that are moved to, if not now, maybe later, but the first thing I heard right there was take hold of one's heart. And I think they mean, I don't know if y'all can see me. I think they mean physically put your hands on your heart. They said take hold of your heart. So I would do that. Yeah. If you're of the mind. Okay. Or later. Or in your mind, I guess. But this is what I know that they want to do. Okay. And please continue. Well, all the answers lie there, they're saying. They're not here, right? All the answers live here, they're saying. Do you know that the resonance of the heart is about, let's make this simple for you, if we may. The heart has a resonance of about 450 hertz per second. That is about, let's simplify it. Even if your hearts, you might say, oh, my heart is wounded, or my heart doesn't trust, or my heart has fear, so on and so forth. Even the darkest hearts that are in the light that we've seen, even the most temporarily traumatized hearts that we have seen in this current age, because partly we're talking about the collective sweep of energy known as the Galactic Council's supreme efficacy, I hope I did that right, efficacy coming together in the explosion of all the light from all the dimensional planes. If you think about two circulating golden globes, maybe some of you wish to close your eyes for just a moment and we can turn our response into what you might call a process. Mm-hmm. So with eyes closed and hands on one's heart, mind in a place of visioning two beautiful golden circular dimensional forms, orbits, if you will. We would refer to them as orbits, two orbits. So in the cosmic world, two orbits, beautiful in their perfection. The energy, we should say, of the two orbits are continually moving, circulating, moving, circulating, moving, expanding, moving, expanding. Imagine now that these golden orbits, if you will, you could say left hemisphere, right hemisphere, if you wish. It's not a requirement, but as she's demonstrating with both hands, one might think that that's a requirement, a recognition of polarity also. So as these golden orbits are spinning and expanding and spinning and expanding, we'd ask your hearts and minds to know now, imagine now, see now, hear now, that not only are they golden in nature, but they've picked up some diamond type particles. Perhaps to some of you that have those channels open, see diamond, kind of soft, not harmful diamonds, beautiful, blinding, sort of so bright and sparkling diamonds, like a giant gumball that's been encrusted with sparkly candy, something like this. And that these two balls of light energy, Mother God, Father God, collective, all that is, sometimes known as the heavenly catalyst, that the heavenly catalyst is working across all the galactic centers. Perhaps you've heard about the term galactic centers. And as they continue to move and spin and make their orbit, they're of course emitting electricity. Everything is about electricity or electrical currents. So you're asking us, what can we teach you? What can you do if you get into a place of, I'm so separate from where I know I need to be or where I need to be belonging? Either listen to this or recreate this yourselves and do as she's doing, so that you can have a more intimate experience with one tiny fraction of an aspect of what we call the solar continuum. And that would be another way of identifying what's going on, is the solar continuum. Notice now, if you will, or we will describe it, that we're guiding her hands to make what you might come to know very well, the infinity symbol. This is how the orbits, these two orbits, Mother God, Father God, unity, love, joy, peace, contentment, power. What they are to you is individual to you, but that's the representation that they carry, and they can carry it all. So if it moves some of you, all of you, none of you, just be present in the moment, knowing that we're facilitating these unifying frequencies to flood into your hearts. So what can you do? You can do this. You can be as you are in the moment that you are, even without doing this. Be open to receiving, open to receiving, open to receiving truth. How is one to know truth? Place your hands on your heart, quiet your mind, quiet your breathing, and ask yourself 3 times, is this truth? Is this truth? Is this truth? If it is truth, it will be revealed 2 of the 3 times, if not the entirety of all 3 times. They're just saying, is this clear? But I think so. We'll find out. Is that the end of the process? Well, I asked if that was the end of the process, and they hesitated a minute. They said it can be, or those of you that are not already led to sort of pull it more, turn your hands so the energy fields, orbits as they're calling them, are more in your own fields. And then see, this would be interesting to open it up to the group and see, because they're saying, see if you can't push it in. Now, I don't know, I've never done this process before. It doesn't even have a name. Not that they all do, of course, but I can't push mine in anymore. I don't know what that means, but it would be interesting, maybe, if we have a minute, that someone that's choosing to do this with us, maybe someone else, can bring it all the way in. There's no right or wrong. I'm just talking, we're sharing here today, But that was my experience, that's, about as far as I could bring those golden orbits into my field. So I guess really, even without the sharing, if that's as far as someone can get, I guess the point's to be made, no worry that you didn't get to hear. Okay.
Yeah, mine stayed up to about here. And it's where I wanted to stay. It's like, okay. Cool. Awesome. Thank you. And that is a great question to ask. Is it true? Like what I'm hearing, what I'm getting, what I'm receiving, information, whatever, is it true? And asking your heart, is it true? Because your heart always knows. Your mind doesn't always know, but your heart always knows, right?
3 times is what they said.
Yeah.
I would be interested. Can you unmute somebody to see what their experience was like with that?
Sure. Does somebody want to share? Because we're not taking questions right now, but just sharing about the process. Okay. So Marcy said it narrows the field by bringing it in. The perspective becomes more inside than outside. Awesome. Anybody else want to share? Let me see.
Electricity throughout my body, and as the electricity would come through with the symbols coming into my body, and they ended up right in the middle of my body, swirling in my belly and in my heart, in the infinities. And then the electricity went away, and it was just a wave of all the colors and the gold. Yeah.
Thank you, Caroline. Was that did you see other symbols besides the infinity symbol? I would presume they use light language, but I don't want to always presume.
I didn't hear anything. I just went with what you were saying, and what I saw at first, it was they were holding the planet, and they were turning within the planet, and then they became the infinity symbol and seeped through.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Caroline. All right, Roberta, you've got yourself unmuted. Did you want to share? I'm not Roberta, Robert.
Yes. Yeah, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Good. I brought the 2 spheres. I moved my elbows in. I brought them to the crown chakra, down to the pineal gland, down to my throat, to my heart, where it forced my elbows out and went back up 3 times.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And
Thank you, Robert.
It's all warm. My body's warm.
Beautiful.
Good. Awesome. Marcy says vortex and portals in motion and undulating. Awesome. Good. So everybody's having different experiences, you know, which is great, which is totally fine. You know, we each have our own, and that's perfectly fine. So that's beautiful. I love it. Thank you. All right. So Kelly, do you want to take some live questions as well? Or
sure.
do you want to just take the ones from the what you had sent me?
Why don't we try to get one more from those, and then if that's all right, pick one that you feel is best for our group, most relative.
Yeah.
And
I'm just checking. All right. So here's an interest. Well, no, I don't want that one. So how about this one? How will recalibrating my soul chart help me through these turbulent times?
That's a perfect one from my perspective. Okay. So part of my intention today too was to educate everyone of 2 new processes that I've heard from Michael. Some of you may have already heard of them. Some of you may have experienced them, but probably the large majority of you haven't. And, you know, when we're really, what Michael said the other day is too much talk about the virus, not enough about love. And so in an effort to sort of, you know, help us all have all the petals of love and prosperity, not that they're separate, but whatever those prosperity petals are. Directly speaking about to the soul chart, I'd like to explain that process now. And also as it's relative to our ascension. Remember, the Pleiadians describe these different timelines. And so one of the most significant things that Michael taught me basically, how to do over the last few months is to recalibrate soul charts. And if you're not familiar with the soul chart, maybe type in, I don't know how much time to, you know, to spend on that, but in brevity, the soul chart is our blue plan or book. It's actually an etheric book that's 8 by 10 inches in size. That's human being size. All of our soul charts have a unique cover that is the containment of all the lifetimes we've lived. And the pages in the books represent this incarnate. So in addition to containing our birth parents or who we, you know, choose to enter with, skin color, life purpose, star planet, that's usually on the cover of the back of the book, and many other events in our life. Who determined that prior to every incarnation? We did. Michael taught me a part of that many years ago in that first book that we mentioned, Into the White Light, about what a soul chart is. And so it's what is kind of revolutionary and permanently life-changing, I believe. And I feel I've been humbled and blessed for many intergalactic systems and many teachings from many masters over the years here. But the soul chart, with Michael's help, we remove the karmic 4th dimensional karma that our souls also chose to experience in this particular lifetime. And what does that do? It frees us. It frees us from what? Challenges, hardships. That's one aspect of recalibrating. Recalibrating means reprogramming. And much of what's going on now is a reprogramming, isn't it? We might use different words like the timeline, ascension, or rebirthing, but renewing, rebirthing, you know, those words Michael loves and has for years. We use them a lot in many teachings, you know, regeneration, even all the RE words, you know, remembering. There'll be a remembrance of how cherished you are. So the first thing is that the dense karma needs to be taken out of there. Michael tells us, I can now get the books down from the library, which he's never, ever been able to do before. That's what I heard throughout time. Why now? Because he said, I was given the directive, or however, because I was given the sign. Why? Because now's the time to help us get rid of any matter that doesn't benefit us. And a lot of that matter was predetermined by us before we came into this incarnation, and it's contained in something called our soul chart, which we often quite refer to as a book. So if, for example, and everyone I've worked with so far has karmic lessons. If you think you don't have karmic lessons written in your soul chart, this is again, I can only speak what I hear. The only way that would be, my friends, is if you were about 8 years old and you were born in 2012 or after.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yeah.
So suffice it to say that everyone here today has these karmic lessons that have limited you, and in some cases created great hardships. So we'll just a little bit more about this, if I may. Even if when we do the soul chart recalibration, so maybe what I'd like to do too in our time together is maybe take some calls and at least have someone ask if they're interested, how many karmic lessons do I have, or where was the first one? And I'd like to, if we can, I'd like to go through one page of as many people's books as possible and remove the karma, just to give people an idea of what the whole process is like. So we do remove the karma if it happened at age 5, right? We don't start at the age you are. Because why? Because that's the way Michael asked it to be done, because that person will have benefit. Okay, they'll have benefit in some form or fashion. So it's really a hallelujah moment, I think, because of wherever the age of Aquarius, or the way where we are awakening, as a means to empower us to help win this final battle. It's really a final battle. It's been a long final battle, because Michael's been using those words for a few years now, like how long does the battle wage, right? But in any event, that's one element of what's done. The karma, for example, if someone charted a karmic lesson of love, let's say, how would a person have chosen to learn that? By being presented with unloving people that show up in your life, or unloving thoughts about yourself, or other experiences that are unloving, right? These karmic lessons have eons of human existence. I guess it might be interesting in a way to even kind of find out how long. I kind of know where I feel as though the karma, the karmic juju came from. But in any event, that's only one tiny aspect of that process. When that karma is out of everyone's sacred book, unique unto you, then, with Michael's goodness and gracious, we go back to doing something called sourcing the cover. And it's a charge. It's an electrical charge. Some people feel it. It's not a momentary thing, by the way. You don't have to feel a thing, see anything. Again, this is what makes these two processes universal, because there's no criteria, other than having an open mind, to what's available to us now that wasn't available 10 years ago. As far as I know, I only go with what I hear, 40 years, 400 years, or what have you, So sourcing the cover reminds a person of how cherished they are. They either remind it cognitively, clairvoyantly, clairaudiently, all of those ways, none of those ways, or it's all happening even without the sort of conscious awareness, depending on the channels that might be open. And then, therefore, one final piece, Michael tells us that our soul charts also have these, what he calls highlighted pages, scattered throughout, okay? The highlighted pages were intended to be, before we incarnated in this lifetime, very wondrous, full expressions of what? for everyone, it's a little bit different, but they're high frequencies such as love in the soul chart, trust, gratitude, contentment, right? That was to have been our soul's journey, but the pages got all crumbled up. This is what they look like, these pages I'm talking about. They got all crumbled up and shrunken because of the karma. Whew, right? Just think of a big anvil, right? Whew. So when that matter's gone, then we source the cover, have all of that glory, and then we go back through it with Michael's help, and we restore, recalibrate, right? Renew, we rebirth, we expand energetically the pages that your soul intended to experience. So that crumbled page where from age, let's say 15 to 30, you said nothing but love, but it got, mitigated down to a tiny little something. It literally, energetically, you stretch it out and expand it, right? And because energy doesn't stay contained, Michael tells us that the energy from all the pages in the sacred book spill over, fill the whole thing. Totally
Nice.
totally life-changing.
I'm sure.
So,
Absolutely. Sounds beautiful. Sounds so empowering.
yes, and especially if one were to think about it, if with Michael's help, if he removes karma, well, I guess I've said enough about this, but if he helps, he removes that from your book, and he's helped you eliminate some unnecessary hardships. Whoa.
Yeah. That's a miracle for sure. Absolutely.
Sure thing.
So what did you want? I mean, there's so many people have commented in the chat asking, how many do I have? Can you clear my karma? What is it that you wanted to know?
Well, I think we can start helping people. It's not possible to conduct a whole entire session, obviously. That's what we'll do if you want to work with me longer. But I would like to be of service and try to I'd like to ask Mike, I'd like everyone to try to serve people that are interested. I'd like to ask Michael where the first karmic lesson was in a soul chart and what it is, and we'll demonstrate how to take it out. Remembering friends, right? This is like the appetizer before meal, right? It's one little page, okay? But it'll give you a sense of, what I'm talking about. And any little time something is done, something's better than nothing. That's really the concept too, Many times people might ask about their home. How can I elevate this? Can I just do, again, something's better than nothing. How often should I say love and kindness? 30 minutes a day if you can, friends. Okay, if that doesn't happen, something's better than nothing. 5 minutes, 5 days a week. So in that spirit of let's just get started, maybe Laura, maybe we start with you to just model, if you don't mind. Well, just so, because
I'm excited.
I'll be as quick as I can with this, okay?
Yeah.
Just so, we got any it's really straightforward, because here's the beauty also. It's so wonderful. Michael said, I can get your charts down, friends, but I can't do the work.
Right.
It's so tellingly profound. Of course, it's our book, our soul, right, wrote it before we came in here. It's called charting lessons, right? So, and not all lessons, obviously, were highly aspected lessons, okay? That's how the karmic cycle used to be. I know the other surprise to me before we start with the Laura and get to some of your folks, and that is, yes, the people that are the children born after 2012 are free from karma. That's another hallelujah moment. If you have a child or a grandchild or a niece or a nephew or someone, that's what Michael tells us. It's from my hair standing up on my arm.
Same. I got chills all over when you said that.
Whew, now they're moving down my legs.
Yeah.
And if we think of this collectively, of everything that's done to move us out of density personally and in the collective whole, maybe you can start to see the divine wisdom and beauty of why Michael said, okay, now's the time. Just like a decade ago when Michael said, now's the time for intergalactic healing. Boom, there's the time. So now's the time for this. So, okay, I'm quite spirited about this. Hopefully you all can tell. But because
Do you need to know something?
No. Just if you want to imagine that in just a second, Michael will deliver your book on your lap, okay? He'll usually count down to like 3 or 4, so you know, a person has an idea. Again, you don't have to feel it, you know, blah, blah, blah. Michael, because everybody's here like this, well, are remnants of Laura's book going to be on Pat's lap? I guess I'm just asking. No, he's not even answering that question. Okay, so once it's on everyone's lap that wants to kind of give this a whirl, then we're going to invite you in your mind to know that it's there. If Michael says it's going to be delivered on the count of whatever, trust me, friends, it will be there, okay? So then imagine that you're opening the cover, and Michael might say, I'm going to ask, where's Alara's first karmic lesson? And Michael will say, you know, wherever. If Michael says, please turn to page 5 in your mind, or whatever page number that is for those of you that would like to do this, you know, then what Alara is going to be asked to do is she's got to get the page out of there. And the way this process is done by having her right hand open, and her hand is going to be hovering over her lap, because that's where the book, esoteric book is, whether she knows it or you know it or not, okay? He tells us that the energy of her hand will allow the page to kind of, you know, fly up to it. Then a person is given a choice. You either close your hand and crumble the page with the karma in it, therefore ridding yourself of its effects, and open your hand again. Or if a person would rather just shake your hand, you know, he tells us that the page will fly up and away. Sometimes it poofs away, but okay, so let's try it, okay? Michael, she's ready. So Laura's soul chart, when would you like to deliver to her on the count of what, please? 6. On the count of 6, he's saying it will be there. So let's just go with 6, 5, 4, 3, 1. Okay, it's there. You go ahead and go forth and open, turn the cover in your mind, or if you want to use your hand, that's fine. And Michael, with your supreme guidance, what page is the first karmic lesson? How many does she have? Because it's quite possible that we all have multiple karmic lessons going on at once. So that's why the number's asked for. How many karmic lessons at what age? Page 5, kindly turn to page 5, my tender and auspicious friend. Knowing that in this instantaneous moment, go forth as described. You're releasing 5 karmic lessons as I see them of no service to you any longer. So while I'm doing that, Alara, your hand can be hovering over, okay? And again, you don't need to know that it's up there. Those of you that might not have those channels open. Why is that? Well, because Michael also tells us your spirit guide that accompanies us through life helps, okay? So many people, you know, do have those experiences of, oh, I see it, or I feel it, or this, that, and the other. But, okay, so now with that side talk, you know, if you wanted to, did you disperse of it already?
Yeah.
Okay, great. What are the lessons, karmic lessons, that are of no service to her, Michael? Judgment, trust, companionship, joy, and forgiveness. Okay, so if I'm not a clear educator, all those lessons sound very empowering, I suppose, right? But in the karmic sense, they're disempowering. So we don't go further. We don't ask people to relive anything. It's really not. We want to kind of get this matter out as quickly as possible, you know? So a person can prosper even more fully. So again, we don't ask anyone to relive something that might have been challenging, you know. But the first step really is to get the karma out of there, out of the whole book, so that it can start to levitate off of your lap, or levitate, so that by nature it would, you know. It's the karma that weighted your chart down, and in many cases, you know, determined your life.
Yeah. Wow.
Okay, so that's you know, an example of how that piece of that process would go
I'm like
along.
burning up. My face is like burning up at the moment. You know, I'm just feeling all sorts of energies, you know, like tears, just a lot of releasing happening that I'm trying to just keep myself together while, because we're on the call, but a lot of shifting is happening in the energies right now. So thank you. Yeah, thank you, thank you, thank you.
So should we like to do that with a few other people? Is that what we'd like to do?
Yeah, so let's go to Dave Key. Dave Key, you want to unmute yourself?
Hi, hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
Yes.
All right, so it's Devaki. Did I say that
Yes,
right? Okay,
that's
thank
right.
you, dear. So Michael, she's present, and would you be so kind as to close your eyes? It's helpful to have your feet on the floor so some people are grounded. So if you think you might want to do this, and we can get to some of you, you know, try to, looks like everybody's seated upright anyway, but Michael, would you please access her soul chart and let us know when it'll be on her lap, and then we'd like to move forward with the same process, please. Okay, on the count of what, please? On the count of 9, it'll be delivered, he's saying, okay? So here we go for you. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, he just said success. So if you'd be so kind, in your mind, you can do it in your mind or with your hand, open the cover, which is a glorious, glorious cover, the containment of all the wondrous experiences, lifetimes. Sometimes people see themselves in other lives and so on, but we're not doing that part of the process right now. What page, Michael? Did I make this clear? Whatever page we turn to, that's the age where the karma was written. Okay, so if Michael says for her to turn to page 7, that means age 7, chronological age 7, okay? So where's her first karmic lesson of no service to her any longer, please? Kindly turn to page 8, my friend. So again, just visualize a little bit of a book turning there. And go forth as we've taught you, please, with your hand hovering over your chart. How many karmic lessons here, and what were they, Michael, please? 2 karmic lessons as I see them written, of no use to you any longer, my friend. And they are what, please? Justice and silence. Okay, so if you've captured the page energetically, I trust you have, if you've done what we've asked you, chosen a method to transmutate that into what Michael says, sending it back to the cosmic shredder. So back to the cosmic shredder. 2 karmic lessons taken care of for you, okay? Even though you've lived them, there can be cellular memory. Sometimes in the conscious world, there can be recollections of it, fearful remembrances of things and so on. But yeah, we don't ask anybody to relive anything. In fact, that part's done and over, okay? All right, anyone next? Who's next?
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Thank you, Devki. All right, we're gonna go to Diana. Diana Valencia, you want to unmute yourself?
Hello, hello. Thank you so much.
Hello, hello.
I'm ready. I have my
Okay.
hand ready.
Okay, wonderful. All righty then. If you could close your eyes if you liked, and then it's not really necessary, but you know, sometimes. So Michael, Diana here is present and ready, as you know, and when would you like to deliver her sacred chart to her? By the way, just for a second, if you're wondering, if we do call on you, if you're wondering, is your book going to be forever on your lap? I would probably wonder. You know, no, I don't think so. Let's ask Alara, right? I would presume that her guardian angel has returned it back to Michael. Is it still on your lap?
It's not on my lap, no.
Okay. All right. Just
No.
want to tend to that matter. Okay. Okay. So, when would you like to share her book then, please? On what kind of what? 11. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. All right, it's there. And again, in your mind or with your left hand, turn the cover, which is a wondrous source of inspiration that we look at later. Where's their first karmic lesson, Michael? 2 pages, he's saying, pages 7 and 8. So in this case, it's not uncommon. There can be certainly multiple years where the karma extended, you know. So 7 and 8 is 7 and 8. You can take them out one at a time in your mind, or maybe they'll drift up together. I would probably crumble them. It's quicker, you know, rather than the other methods. So, and how many lessons here, please? 6 karmic lessons. And what were they, please? Truth, trust, love, worthiness, compassion. Oh, and safety. Okay, so I do want to, so those were 6. So this is important to teach this also. When we do this process, we're not indicating to people that those 2 entire years for Diana were nothing but karma. It's not possible, right? So Michael said, rather than tear out 3 weeks of that age 7, you know, and leave the book in tatters, you know, we don't know how long she wanted. We don't know whether Diana had those karmic lessons for one day, all on one day, and many, many hardships, tragedies might have happened, probably did. Or she a month or 6 months of that year, okay? But again, we take the whole page out so we don't leave it in tatters. And then the wonderful things that happened during that age, you energetically kind of let it, we recalibrate that too, okay? So I just want to make that really clear so that everyone has an understanding that by doing it in Michael's process, that of course there are going to be many wonderful thoughts and people you met and, you know, all those kinds of things, okay? The karmic matter, by the way, does look like black chapter titles. That's what Michael says, and sometimes when clairvoyants show up, you know, they'll share that with me. So you've done that, I guess, right?
Yes.
Okay, is there anything you wanted to share before I comment or move on?
It just left me right now. What was it? Everything you're saying was right on. I went blank. It was like the minute I opened my eyes, I just went blank.
No trouble. No trouble. I don't want to put you on the spot, but thanks for showing up.
Yeah, thank you. There was a lot of energy, a lot of oh, there we go. It was almost like a tune-up. My body was like flicking a little bit. So yeah, and then something else I can't remember. It's almost as like I opened my eyes and I was 2 places. My body was here, but not my mind. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Diana.
I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. There's a question here about how is a mask removal different than a soul chart recalibration? And I'd like to touch on that because maybe someone would rather experience this. Okay, a mask we all carry, most of us, I shouldn't say we all, I don't know this. I go too fast sometimes. Many of us have masks, okay? We've either brought them, Michael tells us, we've either brought them in from other incarnations. We pick them up from others. We've created them ourselves. Or in a rarer occasion, someone from outside of the light can place them there. And Michael says they look like dark storm clouds that don't move off of us. They're anywhere, I think I started with this a little while ago. They're anywhere from 5 to 50 masks. As I said, I've not yet to work with anyone that has anywhere near 50, but the masks limit us. And so let me just say, some of the masks and what the removal does, maybe that's the promise. We probably have heard of masks maybe before, but I've never heard of a process like this. Maybe it exists, but you know, I don't know. I don't ask, I just receive. So there's a process that's much shorter than the soul chart recalibration. It's about a 10-minute process to work with the individual and remove the masks that are on them. Michael tells us, depending upon the density of the mask, how long the mask has been there, prosperity comes to a person. Sometimes he tells us it's immediate, all the petals of prosperity. Sometimes, and many times, probably more often than not, it's more gradual. Okay, so there are masks such as critical thinking, self-sabotage, fear of being successful, certainly fear of intimacy, fear of the unknown. Many of these types of masks, when they don't belong to us, in other words, if we didn't create them or bring them in from other incarnations, then they're referred to as a false mask. So it's a different process, completely different really, to the soul chart calibration, but he taught me these two together. So I tend to present them together with the mask removal, since it's shorter by far, completely, you know, it's a very useful warm-up, I might say, esoterically kind of speaking. So if anybody would, you know, want to have me see how many masks they have, what they represent, teach you how to remove at least one, because if someone has 5 masks, obviously we don't have time for that, but we could at least take care of one. But that's a brief explanation of how they're different. The similarities are that they're divinely given. The similarities are there's divine expression, there's divine opportunity to be clearer. Michael said you can consider yourselves like cars that haven't been driven in the mud, but you know, a car that has a clean windshield. So most of the time, people don't know they have masks. You know, they don't. We don't. And because these masks are way far away from what our physical bodies are, almost always a person isn't going to feel them being removed or even feel them being present unless you're super sensitive. Okay, and I have worked with some people like that, but again, it's not a feeling thing, you know? I mean, you don't have to feel or know anything. Michael takes care of it all, you know, basically.
Awesome. All right, so we're going to go to Destiny, and Destiny, you can choose. Do you want to do the mask or do you want to do the soul chart? You want to unmute yourself? And we're not going into questions or stories. I just want to know one or the other. You have to unmute yourself, Destiny. I can't unmute you. There you go.
Oh, Laura, are you there? Can you hear me?
Yep.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
The mask, please.
The mask. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too for you.
Okay. Okay, great.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. So, Michael, how many masks does Destiny have on her? 9 masks. Okay. And but by the way, if the number is 1 or the number is 9, you don't want to overthink it, because maybe, you know, he's putting a number on there because our minds operate with a number, sort of, but you could have one big thick old mask, right, that's been there for eons of time, that is causing a huge amount of limitation, as opposed to, you know, 9 little skinny little ones or something. Okay, so anyway, 9. And so Michael, where's where's one mask? He'll start over her head. He'll tell you what it is. We'll blow it away, and then we'll move on if we have time. Okay, Michael. So where's the first mask, please? And it's a mask of what? It's about near her crown, but again, he's referencing your physical body, but it's going to be 8 to 9 feet away. Okay, just FYI. But it's about there. It looks like a dark storm cloud, and it's a mask of what, please? Disillusionment. Okay, this is where you need to pay a little of attention. I'm going to ask Michael for 2 sequences, okay? He's going to give me, well, what is the sequence to transmute this mask? And he's going to give me 2 numbers. The first number is the number I'm going to count backwards from. Hi, there you are. The first number I'll count backwards from. The second number, you need to pay attention, but you got a lot of helpers if you forget. Okay, that's the number of breaths that he wants people to make, whatever their number is, in your mind to where that mask is that's limiting you in some way. Maybe it's not even very active now, again, but he says it's there, and I trust what I hear. So you're to blow it away like you're blowing out a birthday candle, okay? But I don't know that. He said over the head. What did he already tell you? What it was about?
Disillusion.
Thank you. Disillusionment. Okay, thank you. What's the sequence, please? 6 and 7. Okay, so I'm going to count backwards from 6 now. And then when I'm done, dear, then I want you to make 7 breaths, strong and short, so you don't get lightheaded, okay? 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Maybe everybody can help her count. Okay, go. Two. Keep going. 3. I guess now I can't hear it. Keep blowing till you get to your number. Okay. Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. So that's the process. Okay, one by one, you know, there's probably, you know, when we're just doing one, there might be multiples. Usually there are, but we took care of one. It's really, you know, that's why it's a 15-minute process generally. Okay. Okay, are you okay? You made your breaths all right, I see. Thank you very much.
That's it. Thank
Awesome.
you. Thank you.
Thank you, Destiny. Awesome. Great. Okay.
Thank you, Lara.
You're welcome. Yep, you're welcome. All right. Whew. You want to do one more?
Sure.
So I know Gina has written in the chat a couple of times. Gina, you want to unmute yourself?
Yay, tomorrow's my birthday, so this is perfect.
Oh,
Happy birthday in advance.
Thank you.
Happy birthday in advance.
I think the karma.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So, Michael, what's the number to deliver Gina's book to her, right, Gina? On the count of 8, it will be delivered. Okay. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. So again, in your mind, you want to open the cover. It's 8 by 10. Everybody's soul chart's the same size. Okay. It's encrusted with beautiful gems and symbols and ancient Sanskrit writing and gold and great beauty, but we're not talking about the cover right now. So where's her first karmic lesson, Michael? Where does that appear?
Sorry, you froze up. I couldn't hear.
I was just talking about how wonderful the cover is, and I'm asking,
Okay.
I'm asking him now where your first karmic lesson appears. Where is that, please? Page 9. Kindly turn to page 9. In an instantaneous moment, my friend, you'll be rid of 4 karmic lessons as I see them, of no value to you any longer. And not just, and in any future incarnation, not that that's really what we all think about, but understand this, right? It's in the here and now and future. That's what the 2012 hallmark is a signification about. So, excuse me, so page 4, I believe you said? No, help me.
9.
Page 9, 4 lessons. That's where we were. Okay, thank you. So you have your hand hovering over your lap, right? Do that for a few seconds while I'm channeling, and then you can take the matter, probably close your hand and open it up again. Okay, for her understanding, Michael, what are the karmic lessons written here? Happiness, tranquility, tenderness, and value. Okay. You know, sometimes when we do this work, someone will, well, you know, will remark about, oh, I remember that year, da 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 da, you know. But we don't go any deeper. Michael doesn't. He said, if I read all the matter about how she wanted to learn that karma by having challenges, like who she brought in her life to test her, and you know, he said we'd be here for weeks, you know. And it's not really. We want to, you know, back to the cosmic shredder anyway. So, and it's not important if you have a mind to think back either. You know, I'm just saying that a lot of times, especially as it gets closer to the age you might have that knowingness. And also certainly moving into a future age, if Michael says your last karmic lesson is on page 80 and you're 60 years old, and he removes those karmic lessons, think about that. Just think about that for a minute. What is the great potential there? Great, great, great bliss, right? So there are lessons like vitality. There are all kinds of karmic lessons. I don't know about you, Laura. I had no idea there were so many until, you know, this started occurring. I thought patience, right? Trust,
Yeah.
you know, that's about all I knew, you know. But oh no, it's still, you know, once I did several, every chart has them from early age to old age. I haven't done 1,000 yet, but mind you, but it's just kind of a remarkable, what would be understanding, I guess, that no chart has them all at like age 5 and no more, or age 8 and no more. They're scattered throughout early life, present life, and, you know, into older advancing age.
So Gina, how are you doing?
Good, good.
We're
my
finished.
back was a little tingly. I felt like a pressure on my back, but it's removing now.
Okay. And, you know, certainly some people, you know, can have a visceral experience, you know, or an emotional one, but they're quick-lived, you know, especially with this, because we would keep moving on, you know, we're not going to linger in that long. So as far as, I don't feel as though in what we're doing here today, there's any need for any particular cleansing or something. I would probably, you know, drink a little water, but
yeah, for sure.
So that's
thank you.
My pleasure.
Awesome. Thank you, Gina. And happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, what a great gift. Yeah, I saw her message saying it was her birthday tomorrow. I was like, oh, we definitely have to get her to come on. So good. Awesome. Thank you. All right. So where are we at now, Kelly?
Well, does anybody else, would anyone else like a process?
Are you kidding me? Everybody would like a process.
Well,
all right.
It's your job to pick them, not mine.
I think I did pretty good so far. Somebody I have never talked to before. Let's go to Beth Florentino. I have no idea who that is. Beth, you want to unmute yourself? Oh, and she just wrote in the chat too. Please. Hello.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah. Go ahead. So which one do you want? The mask or the other one?
Oh, the karma.
Karma. Everybody wants the karma. I like the mask one. I thought that was really brilliant. The one for destiny. It was really good as well. But that's okay. Go ahead, karma.
Okay, thank you for participating. So best is your ability, you know, don't be distracted. If you can, close your
Kelly,
eyes.
your audio's gone down again.
Is it okay now? Yeah,
It's just lower than it was before. That's all I'm saying.
I wonder if, is that all right now?
I think that's better. Yeah.
Yes.
How about now? Okay, thank
Yeah.
you. So Michael, for Beth, can you get Beth's chart down from the Halls of Wisdom? She's ready, please. And what number? On the count of 7, it will be delivered. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. He just said right there, holy, 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 Hosanna in the highest. Thank you. What pages should she turn to, please? Kindly open the most magnificent cover, which will be freed from 2 karmic debts as you do this work. In an instantaneous moment, my friend, 2 karmic lessons will be removed that are of no service to you any longer. The first karmic lessons, my friend, are shown to me to appear on page 7. Would you kindly go to page 7 in your mind, go forth as prescribed, if not already accomplished, knowing that in this sacred moment together, you're releasing 2 karmic lessons, and they are forgiveness and belief. So again, we don't know how long, even to what degree that karma was to be experienced. Probably in some way, people were shown into her life that she would have tried to forgive, or the presentation was there for the potential to forgive. You know, might have been a day, might have been 6 months. Okay, we leave those things unattended to, but that's your, as long as you've contributed on your end, we're finished with that.
Thank you so much, Kelly. Thank you, Laura.
My pleasure.
Very emotional.
Awesome. Good. Just let it clear out. Just drink some water or keep breathing.
Okay.
Awesome. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay.
Yeah.
Woo. Awesome. All right. More so there's a question from Jean. She's asking, can we ask Archangel Michael on our own to do this for us? Good question.
I'll ask him. I guess if you hear as clearly as I do, you can. And I don't mean that. I'm just saying, you know, I'm just being straightforward. If you hear as clearly as I can, yeah, I'd go for it. You know, I don't need to ask. You know, yeah, sure. But well, I don't know. Maybe I should I ask him? I don't know.
I don't know, because I think like this was just a basic, you know, just to show everybody. I think there's more involved than just this.
Well, a soul chart recalibration is about a 60 to 90 minute process.
Yeah. Yeah.
not 2 minutes. And you know, on one hand, I want to say, yes, are there others on the planet that are in a place of vibrational knowingness to, you know, hear and see and do? But you know, I don't know that you want to go on a false journey either, you know?
Yeah.
So.
True. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Beth, I'm sorry, I don't remember either. You're gonna have to go back and watch or listen to the recording. Just she was trying to remember what the 2 things were. I was like, I have no idea.
Did you want to?
Go ahead.
Did you want to talk? Did you want to go into the package now and then take a few more questions, or how would you like to do that?
Yeah,
Okay.
let's do that. Let's talk about the package, and then we'll take a few more questions after that. So for those of you who are on the live page, you can go to, just click on special offer. Those of you who are not, you can go to alara.at/show/Kelly9. And so Kelly has 3 packages that are available, package A, B, and C. And package C is totally separate, okay? So package A is one package, and package B includes everything in package A, but package C is totally separate, standalone, does not include package A or B, okay? So, so Kelly, let's talk about package A, and this is about all of the harmonic healing star codes, as well as the ascending your home space for prosperity, plus that bonus. There's a 60 to 90 minute live Q&A call with you, mass group. No, it's not a Q&A call. It's a personal session with you, right? The mask removal and recalibration process with Archangel Michael for package A.
Yes, it's really the presentation of a lot of what Michael has asked me to do lately, and certainly the star code information is in there to help people empower themselves. That's why that light language was more recently given in my work, so people could become familiar with using them, working with them, again, for that self-empowerment aspect. And that kind of download came a couple of years ago. It's still relatively recent in, working with light language in a way that you don't need to hear it. You don't have to speak it. I mean, we use light language in intergalactic healing, but again, these codes are numbers, symbols, sometimes they're colors, to help facilitate the expansion or the elimination of certain physical conditions, mental, emotional conditions. Sometimes there are codes, of course, certainly for expansion. A little bit more about the codes for just a second. A lot of them were introduced to me in the Book of Animals. If any of you, your listeners, have read this book, Michael introduced codes that we can all use to help different species of animals, for example, or different places in the world where the ocean water is polluted, or there's trash and pollution of all types. And so there's an infinite number of codes. Most of these harmonic codes, they're a form of light language, symbols, numbers, or shapes, and they're on the simpler side because they can get very complex. They can, but they're simple for a reason, so people can use them. So in many cases, in the codes, in some cases, the codes will be enough, just like anything, right? In some cases, the codes will be helpful, but not enough, right? So again, it's appropriate for the time we live in. Michael said many things all along. You can keep using older methods of, let's call it healing or transformation or whatever we're talking about, or we can step into the age and the energies that are being presented to us now. So that's what that is. Some of the people that are drawn to this, I am making this star code jewelry now of different types. So those items include a group star healing session. In addition, if you've not been at either level 1 or level 2, they're different levels. So if you have experienced that through me or any of the healers I've trained over the years, we would need an identification of what level you've experienced so I can conduct the appropriate protocol for you, okay? But, and the item 8, ascending your home space. This is, I would like to, 2 minutes, I need to touch on this, okay?
Sure.
Even though this system has been around from Michael for a while, again, we use harmonics in there. It's the Pleiadian-based, simple, easy system for the home. Laura, I know, knows a bit about it. The reason I'm representing it is because we've all been in our houses a long time. We've all been filling our homes with thoughts, and the thoughts are either toxic or they're not toxic, right? So I thought it would be an appropriate time, because of that reason, mainly of all of us being, many of us being inbound, to answer your questions about Michael's system with the guidebook. Also, the guidebook's been updated to include some star codes now, which were not originally in it when it was first originated or downloaded to me. So again, trying to, help people bridge into the newer realm, or I guess we could call it newer realm of working, with the energies that are present on our planet today. So I think that's, did I cover that? That's package A. This is the hardest part. I can do everything else, but
Well,
Okay.
I was just going to say really quickly though, in package A, we have the star codes, we have the harmonic codes to connect with the angelic realms. We have the Ascending Your Home Space, which includes a 60-minute webinar, right?
And the book.
And then
And
we
the
have
book.
the book and the channeled guidebook. And then we have the bonus 60 to 90-minute mass removal and recalibration process with Archangel Michael. That's one-on-one with you, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, cool. So that's one-on-one with Kimberly. And then, I mean, not Kimberly. Oh my goodness. Who am I thinking of in this moment? Kelly.
Right.
And then package B includes all of that plus, and then here is where we have the group healing session, right? The group healing session.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Okay. By the
Yeah,
way, there will be a replay, as like always. You know, if you can't make the call live, whatever the call is, whether it's for your home or the group Star Healing, there'll be a replay link. Okay. The healing's just as powerful when you re-listen to it, although I don't want anybody re-listening if you're experiencing it live, and I'll go over more of that with everyone that might choose to work with me. So the same is true with the soul chart. You'll have a record, you know, of that. And just one more thing about the soul chart before we get to package C, and that is, in Michael's, really it's a acknowledgement of how supreme, not only Michael, but Jesus Christ and all the guides that have gifted us all, whether we know it or not, with so much beauty and wisdom. You know, so many hundreds of thousands of people here are now to do work. That's why we're here, right? We may not always know the work we're to do, but that's why we chose to incarnate here. And, you know, the graciousness of Holy Mother, Father God, who at the end of that, Michael tells everyone how to ask him for their book again, so that nothing, if they wanted their chart or book, for example, and we teach people how to access it on in that way. Maybe that kind of correlates to that one question earlier. To remind us that nothing's separate from us. He says, why would I take something so cherished as our life journey and the history of our lives, now that they're elevated, and keep it, you know, in this very distant crystalline hall that, you know, it's so, I find it so remarkably beautiful and powerful. I'm so eternally grateful that for all the guides, and we all have them, of course, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's my nod to Michael. Okay, package C, I love to present this. It's not presented often. It's a very special reduced offer. Part of my mission is also to, in varying ways, like many light workers, to use different means as a healer and a teacher to help people expand. And that's what being a star healing practitioner can do for yourself and others. It's an online course. That's what, it's a standalone offer, as Alara said. Doesn't go with either of the offers. You have to be, have energy experience. If you're not certain, you can always message my office and get some information to see if it's appropriate for you or not. But it's an online course, sometime with me live to oversee what you're doing. All the material is there, guidebooks, handouts, all kinds of material is there for a student. And that's $4.99, and it's normally $7.99. So I hope it's enough to motivate people that are healers, that are looking for something. They don't know exactly what maybe, but they're looking for something that's very powerful. It's been on the planet a decade. So what does that mean? Thousands of people have been helped and healed in a decade's time. It too has undergone its own growth spurt. Just the other day, I was talking to some healers about this. And whereas a decade ago, for example, in one particular Stargate experience, where the number of sacred shapes held in that Stargate journey were 25,000, 2,500, Michael said, add a zero. Yesterday to the animals, he said, times 10 now. So I'm like forever updating the guidebooks, you know?
Mhm.
So it's really a wondrous kind of thing. That's it.
I was going to ask something about that. So the healing, the practitioner certification, you know, even if you are a healer in other modalities, this can still be of benefit, right?
Yeah, I appreciate that question very much. It certainly, yeah, sure. If it's helping an energy worker prosper and they know other modalities, absolutely. You know, why would I limit it? You know, you wouldn't mix them, of course, but it would be
Yeah.
a standalone into what they may already be doing. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Awesome. Good. And so, you know, just from reading all the testimonials on the page, you know, there's so many of them. So many people have taken the training with you, become certified, and they're all saying such wonderful, wonderful, wonderful things. And you're traveling all over the world teaching as well, right?
A lot of it's, you know, online for now, but certainly
Yeah.
I've had my fair share of intercontinental and continental workshops in person. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Awesome. So all of these packages are available at alara.at/show/Kelly9. And for package B, for the first 5 people that order package B, there's a special proprietary and custom-made Prosperity Star Code bracelet from Archangel Michael that's also available. So can you talk a little bit about that quickly, Kelly? I don't want people to misunderstand.
Sure.
It's limited to, I think, first 5 people or Sunday. I forget what it was.
I don't know.
It's
We
in
better
there.
get clear on there. But
It's in
read
there.
read the fine print, please. Right. But anyway, I happen to be wearing, you know, we're all creative people, right? And, you know, wearing a star code, you don't have to wear a star code. The star code wearing has no more value than if you write the star codes down in the package. That's how Michael tells us that you can use them. You can write them down, you can say them, and you know, with the intention being set of what that code pertains to. But anyway, I think we have a picture, don't we, of the bracelets? If not, we probably should.
Yeah, there is a picture of the bracelet on the page as well. Yep, and it is this bonus expires on Sunday at midnight, and it's first 5 people that buy package B. That purchase package B.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you for that. The only disclaimer about that is all a person would owe is shipping. I'm shipping to Thailand or something, you know, keep in mind. So that would be your responsibility. But there are other items too we have in our line of jewelry, and someone can always, if you're interested, we can certainly chat about them. But I'm also doing, as I mentioned, high vibrational paintings. They're not part of this particular offer, but you know, I'm like most people. I'm just an open vessel. I'm waiting.
Goodness, is it me? Is it you? My internet keeps going. Okay, we're back. I'm back. All right, Kelly, what were you saying? Sorry, I got cut out again.
Okay, would you like to take a few more callers?
Sure. So, yeah, if you would like to do, is it for those 2 processes, right, Kelly?
Yes.
Yeah. So if you'd like to raise your hand, it's easier, I guess, if they're live, right?
No,
it doesn't matter.
No,
Okay,
I would like it as long as the name shows up. I like it. Yeah, that's all.
Okay, so we're going to go to Erica Butler.
Oh, okay. What is Erica desirous of?
Yeah, so Erica, what do you want? Which one do you want? The karma or the mask?
The karma.
Karma.
Okay,
awesome.
Thank you.
The
Hi,
karma
dear.
release.
There you are.
Hi.
Hi.
Been a fan for a long time.
Oh, thank you. Bless your heart. Okay, so let's just see. Michael, Erica, as you know, is ready. So when would you like to get her chart down, please? on the count of 1. So there it is delivered. Okay. Thank you, Michael. Where's the first karmic lesson that's of no service to her any longer, please? Okay, page 1. It is page 1. Maybe that's why the number, often the numbers correlate to where the karma is, but not always. Okay, page 1. Michael, tell us more, please. So, Erica, in your mind, right, you're going to open your book now, and you're going to hover your right hand on page 1. Okay. Okay, thank you, Michael. What's written here, please? 5 karmic lessons as I see them, unnecessary to her future development, and they are wisdom, courage, strength, happiness, and joy. Okay, they're all, you know, happiness and joy may seem alike, but certainly they're a similar but different frequencies. So as long as you did what we've taught you to do, and either shake your hand and get the page off of there. Okay. Okay, thank you. Michael, is she complete with this then? Is anything else need to be done? Well, I shouldn't have really asked that, because now I've opened myself up to the idea of, or him saying, you have a grandfather figure that wants to say hello, but that's all we can say right now. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, Erica, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. I feel like a flower that just blossomed or something.
Oh, that's so lovely.
Awesome. Good.
Because it was at that first year. It's opening up a lot for me, definitely.
Good.
Thank
Keep
you.
breathing
Thank
and
you
drink
very
some water.
much.
Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome. Good.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. 1 second. So Nancy has her hand or unmuted. Nancy, you want to go ahead?
Can you hear me? Can you hear
Yeah.
me now?
Mm,
Hi, thank you.
Hi, Nancy.
Hi there. I just bought your package A. I would love a mask removal.
Okay, thank you very much. All righty. So, Michael, how many masks does Nancy have on her? 2 of significance. That doesn't mean you have a bunch more. It's just how he often responds to me. So Michael said 2, okay? And are they separate? Yes, okay. Where's the first one? Is the one we're going to help her with. Where is that one, please? Over and about and near your right eye. Okay. That's in your mind. But it's way far away. Okay. Doesn't mean that we're suggesting anything's wrong with your eye. Okay.
Okay.
Although sometimes through this work, a client will say, oh, now that it's done, my eye doesn't hurt. But don't, anyway, don't. Everyone's unique. Okay. What's it a mask of, Michael? Oh, it's a fear-based mask, he's saying. You want to be more descriptive than that? Fear of success.
Yep.
Okay. Again, it sounds like it's yours, but maybe you picked it up from someone else or brought it forward from another incarnation. So how many breaths? What's the sequence to transmute it, please? 17 and 9. Okay, so I'll be as quick as I can here on that. And then Nancy, you'll have 9 breaths. Okay.
Okay.
So people want to count along. It's kind of rudimentary, but the numbers have significance. 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, Michael, is that complete? I ask, is that complete? He's saying, yes, there's a little haze left, but it'll trail away. Just like, I guess, a cloud might leave a little part of it behind, you know, in the main, so it'll trail away.
Okay.
Is it trailed away now? Yes. So anybody that's worked with energy, you know, the instantaneous moment something's done, it doesn't always instantaneously poof away, right? Sometimes, you know, things need to take a little resolve time, but we're good with that now.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you, Nancy.
Thank you.
Oh, but by the way, if I can make one quick point, Michael tells us that the same mask doesn't come back. I was asked that once early on, if we got the model of the clouds, but they don't move, it's some a natural question, I guess. And he said that the same mass doesn't appear again. Okay, now with that being said, really just from a heart space, that doesn't mean we want everybody to be cast off and, you know, not do their part in having, you know, loving, kind, grateful, you know, thoughts and experiences in your life, right? But the same one won't come back.
Awesome.
Okay.
Good. Thank you. All right, Sarla, I know you're up early there in Australia. Do you want a mask removal or do you want karma? Go ahead and unmute yourself. I can't unmute you, Sarla. Go ahead.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yep, go
Hello.
ahead.
Hi, darling.
Hi.
Yes. Yes, I want my karmic lesson. What is this lifetime?
All right, so karmic soul calibration.
Okay, now, just to be clear, it sounds like, and maybe I just want to reiterate, these karmic lessons are scattered throughout. So, you know, in a 2-minute.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but
so
yes.
let's just see what Archangel Michael has.
So we're gonna take out the first one. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. So Michael, for this, for Sarla, when will you deliver her soul chart to her, please? On the count of 11, it will be there. 11.
In your lap, Sarla.
9, 8.
All right.
4, 3. Okay, somebody now needs to be muted again, probably.
Sarla.
Yes. Yeah.
Can you just tell your kids to, you know, be quieter for a few minutes?
Yeah, as long as you can hear us, you could mute yourself again.
Yes. I am hearing you.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. All right. So now I've lost where I was. Oh, so the chart is there, right? Where's the first karma, Micah? And what is it, please? How many lessons, please? 2 karmic lessons as I see them written by the pen of her own hand, he's saying. And what page is this on? So, Sarla, open your book, your sacred book. It's called sacred, even though the karma is in it for the time being, because the soul is always sacred. What page would you like her to turn to? Page 11.
Page 11.
Page 11. Now, this brings to mind another teaching point. Maybe Sarla remembers some difficult experiences she had before the age of 11. Certainly, we can have those kinds of things, experiences or thoughts. But if Michael doesn't relate it to karma and indicate the page, then it's not a karmic lesson. Okay, that something like that could have happened for a variety of other reasons. Okay, so we're on page or age 11. So go forth, please, with how we've taught everyone. How many lessons here, Michael, and what are they, please? 2 karmic lessons as I see them written, and what are they, please? Judgment and justice. Again, how would you have tried to learn those things? By being tested, by things or someone being unjust, or an experience being unfair, those types of things again. Okay, so that's age 11. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Sarla.
Thank you, darling. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you, Lara, darling.
You're welcome. Thank you. All right, good.
Okay, maybe,
Awesome.
how about one more?
One more.
One more.
All right. Before everybody starts to unmute themselves, how about Robin Neff, mask for Robin's birthday on Friday? Robin Neff, if you want to unmute yourself, you can.
Oh, okay, she would like a mask removal.
A mask.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hi, dear. Happy early birthday. Okay, and you'd like Michael to look at how many masks you have? Yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you. How many masks does Robin have, Michael? Okay, Michael's saying you have 9 masks that no longer serve you. Okay, and the one
Wow.
but don't worry about it, okay?
It's all good.
Where's the first one we're gonna, okay, a mask of overthinking. And where is it presented in our mind or in our body? Near and about between your eye and your cheekbone, about 8 or 9 feet away. Overthinking, a mask of overthinking. So I'm gonna ask him now for the sequence to transmute it, okay? So what is that, please? 9 and 9. So just let me count down and then be your turn, okay? So here we go. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, when you're ready, 9 breaths, please. Go. They can be shallow. I don't want you to get hyperventilating. Keep going, please. Keep going. Yes, Adore.
Good. Awesome. Yeah. Good job.
Thank you.
That was 9. Awesome. Thank you, Robin. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Good. It's that simple and it's that easy, right?
Yeah. Yes.
For us, that's all we have to do is blow candles out, you know?
Now, well, yes. Well, yes. That, you know, most of the teaching from Michael is very easy. It's very understandable. Everything, really. It's straightforward. It's understandable. Maybe there'll be a few folks that have a disagreeing, and or maybe all the guides, you know, that I work with. It's human beings that get things, you know,
Yeah.
a little cloudy, but
For
yeah,
sure.
Mm.
Good. Awesome. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Oh my goodness, that was a lot of, you know, clearing work from Archangel Michael, bringing down those soul books, you know, and just the soul calibration, you know, like just the idea of knowing that, you know, that karma is now gone. It's been cleared. It's been released. It's been, you know, you can use whatever word. It's just like so liberating and so empowering, and gives you a sense of freedom and hope, you know, as you move forward, right?
Yes, well said, thank you. And that also ties into the, you know, what we started our program with, you know, I'm liberated and I'm free. So a lot of all the spiritual realms, you know, there's so many synchronicities of things that flow together and they come apart and they come together. It's so beautiful, I think, in many ways.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree. So I was just going to ask you, is there anything else that Archangel Michael or any of your other guides, beings of light, have to share with us before we go, especially around this time right now? What else? I'm always like, what else can we do to make our lives easier, more joyful, more fun, more connected?
Yes, I'll call in the council again for a final message for everyone about, how about this? If you had to give us, let's say, very brief to do, or 2 or 3 words to embody or be during this transformational time in Earth's history. What would you tell us, please? What would that be, please? Be true to yourselves above all else. That's what I heard. Be true to yourselves above all else. And remember how to do your heart testing thing to help determine other truths from the outer world.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing, is it's always about being true to yourself. And are you being true to yourself? So always asking that question, is this true? Is the information I'm receiving true? Is everything that's coming to me true? Even, the masks that we're being asked to wear now, is that, I'm not going into that. I'll be honest, I'm not going into that, but it's like going into the story of that. And it's like, is that true? Is that true for me? So it's like asking yourself those questions. Is it true? Is it true? Is it true? And it's always about, is it true for me? Right? With your consciousness, with your, what yourself, is it true? So I love that. Thank you. And so thank you, everybody. I know we didn't get to everybody, and I apologize. I'm sorry we couldn't get to everybody. As you can tell, I'm starting to lose my voice. So, I'm done for today. But that was awesome. That was amazing. And thank you so much, all of you who did get a chance to work with Archangel Michael and with Kelly. I'm sure that was so wonderful for you as well. It was so wonderful for me. I was not expecting it at all. That was such a gift and such a blessing. I was like totally shocked. I was not expecting that. So thank you. I really, really appreciate that. And so please do take a look at the special offers that Kelly has for you. They're available at alara.at/show/Kelly9, package A, B, and C. And how much more can you release? How much more can you let go of? How much more can you be empowered, be liberated, right? Be free, be your sovereign self, right? So it's a wonderful time to be able to take advantage of these gifts that Kelly is sharing with us today. Okay, right. So please do take advantage of that the best you can. Right. Thank you so much, Kelly. This was wonderful.
Thanks, everybody. Wonderful. Thanks you, Laura. It was great to be with you again. And thanks so much for your generous audience.
Thank you, everybody. And yes, we did get to 100, and I know there were lots of people who couldn't get on. But obviously the replay will be up soon later today. Okay, so go back and watch it again and just enjoy all of the wisdom, all of the energy, all of the processes. It was great. So thank you, everyone. Until next time, may you continue to be blessed with an abundance of joy, peace, love, happiness, prosperity, and radiant health. Sending you all much love and blessings always. Bye for now. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you, Archangel Michael.
Thank you, Kelly. Thank you.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone. Thank you so much.
Bye. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you. Bye for now.